Hi everybody, I'm Glenn with GMP Travels, and this is part 2 of the Celebrity Equinox. Part 2 is going to be about the food. The food was fantastic on the ship. In the introductory video or the embarkation cabin video, I spoke a little bit about some of the food venues, but we're going to get a little bit more in depth. I'm going to share some pictures, some video. This one might be a little bit longer. So let's get right to it. The buffet. It's called the Ocean View Cafe. Pardon me, I'm looking down at my notes because it's been a year and a half and I can't remember everything. So, again, age. I forgot to eat again today. No, I'm kidding. No, can you tell? Okay, the buffet, as I mentioned in part 1, it had stations, and you can see in a picture here. They were like pods where they had carving stations and salad stations and bread and desserts and meats and stuff like that. Pastas, different type of fare, burgers, stuff like that. The buffet was really good. Their coffee, fantastic. They actually, unlike MSC, again, I'm not trying to bash MSC, but if you've seen my other videos, you'll know the complaints I had. And the complaints was, one of them was not getting real creamer. They had real creamer on this ship, and it was really good, and the coffee was really good. The drink stations were set up well. There's a lot of ships that, for some reason, the drink stations are kind of tucked into almost like a small galley kind of section where there's no exit. It's you go in, you got to come back out. So if it's busy, it's really, the MSC was like this, and I think all MSC ships were like that. If you go in to get coffee and you got other people come in, and then you got to try and get back out. It doesn't flow. Carnival flows a little bit better. Sometimes they put it in a weird spot where a lot of people are walking, so it's hard to get to the drink station. But Celebrity it was kind of like a curve, and you can see a picture here, drink station. You could come in, go through, get your drinks, and go back out, and you were never butting into other people. And as I mentioned, this ship only had, I think, 2,800 passengers. It's a big ship, just like, not as big as the MSC Meraviglia that we were on, but it's a pretty big ship. And so they did a better job with space and room and things like that, because they don't have as many cabins and as many people, and everything just seemed to flow so much better. With that said, at the buffet, as I showed you in that picture, and here it is again, I'll put it up there, they got the different pods. When it's busy, breakfast, lunch, dinner, when it's really busy and people are, it's crowded, you start running into each other. You're trying to get around each other. Nothing really flowed in one direction. One thing I do like about Carnival, their buffets, it's a long line, and buffet etiquette applies here. Of course, I don't know how buffets are going to go with COVID. It's probably going to slow things down, so it's going to be probably an issue because they're going to be serving you. You tell them what you want, they put it on the plate and hand it to you. Whereas before you could get it yourself. And buffet etiquette was, if there was something you wanted that was, down a ways and you didn't want the stuff people are standing there waiting for, you could go around and go to the next station. And that's perfectly fine. It'll probably be a similar type of flow, but, again, Carnival had, they had a buffet kind of on both sides of the ship, and they usually had 4. So you had 2 buffets here, maybe the same things, and then they had maybe Italian up and a little further up in the ship. And again, but it's one long line. You get your plate, you get your silverware, and you come through and you get what you want, you go sit down. And so the thing with the Celebrity, that was probably my only issue, was when it got busy, you were getting in each other's way, trying to get to wherever you were going on the buffet or back to your table. Finding a table was never an issue. Again, not super crowded ship. And, a lot of people, I think this was an older crowd, so you had more people were going to dining rooms for lunch. And lunch, usually breakfast and lunch, the dining rooms are typically only open for breakfast and lunch on sea days. not when they're in port. And I don't think any of the ships were ever open in port. But so I always I enjoy going to the dining room once in a while. You don't get anything different. My wife gets her lox and bagels that she couldn't get on most ships, and I think the Celebrity had lox and bagels up at the buffet, with cream cheese, and she loves that. So I love the buffet. If it's a good buffet, I love the buffet for breakfast and lunch, and rarely for dinner. Most of the time, I like going to the dining room. And the dining room, I just like to sit down, the relaxing bit. The service is typically above. Again, breathing problems, sorry. Don't mean to cough, but if I stop and restart every time I cough, I'd never get through one of these. So the buffet was really good. Had really good food on there. They had some really good carving stations. Sometimes they had roast beef, sometimes pork and turkey and things like that. And it was good. The dining room was really nice. Here's a picture of the dining room. They only had one dining room. They had 2 levels, and had this huge wine. I don't know what they call those. The wine room in the middle, and I think electronically they bring down the bottles of whatever the customers want. The dining room was beautiful. The wait staff was fantastic. We had this woman. We gave her a hug at the end of the cruise. She was fantastic. Talked about her kids and things like that. We love to get to know our dining staff, especially if they're friendly and they can take the time to stop and talk to us. We love that. Smalley Yang, fantastic. He was really good during the week, and we got bottles of wine from him. And more our friends, Jerry and Janet, fantastic friends, like family to us. They're wine connoisseurs. My wife and I were not, and we started getting a little more into wine since we started sailing with them. And I still don't know brands and things like that. I like wine that has a fruitier, sweeter taste, not so dry. Excuse me. My wife's the same way, and we prefer whites over reds. But our friends have opened us up to things that we would never have tried before. Malbecs with beef, with a good steak. Fantastic. Absolutely love it. Now they invest more in wines than we do. I'm not, a $25 bottle of wine might be a little expensive for me. It's not that I'm cheap. We're just not wine connoisseurs. At least not yet. Maybe we'll grow into that. I tend to get headaches from wine. So, and it might be the sulfites in there, or sulfates, whatever they are. My wife, it doesn't seem to bother her, but it does me. And beer bothers me. So I'm more of a cocktail kind of guy, or a bourbon kind of guy. So dining room, loved it. Fantastic service. We tipped them extra at the end of the cruise. We did do some specialty dining. We did like I said, the Le Petit Chef. It's a dinner show in cuisine. I think that was the first specialty dining we did, and it like I said, it got the plate. And they do a show with this little guy on the table, and he's not really running around. It's obviously a projector going down. Absolutely fantastic. It was probably one of the most fun things we've done for dinner, and the food, unbelievable. So if you go on Celebrity, and I think they have this on all the ships, if you go on Celebrity, if you go on the Equinox, do La Cuisine, La Petite Chef, the cuisine. It is an upcharge. It's not hugely expensive, and absolutely worth the money. So I'm going to give you a little video here of the dinner, and I may do another one at the end just for fun. But because I took a video of I think they had like 2 different appetizers, and they had the main meal, and then they had the dessert. So here's one of the appetizers with the. Try to decide which one to do. I'll just surprise you. Here it is.
knocked it for that one guy.
Take this one. Oh, my apologies. Interesting, huh? Dio mio! Santa Madonna Maria! My maledetto tomato salad, Maria! Buon proveggio!
Maledetto tomato salad, buon proveggio! Marinated tomato salad, buon proveggio! Buon appetito!
Thank you.
Did you like that? I did. Absolutely loved it. So, hope you found that amusing. Again, I don't want to bore you with too many of these, but just give you a taste of it. Wish you could have tasted it. The raviolis with mushrooms. Oh my God. The taste and the flavor, amazing. So, so there's that video. We also did, if I remember right, I think we did like 3 lunch, or we did an upcharge for lunch. And we went to, I think, one restaurant, and they brought samples from three together. And I think one was the Asian, one was Tuscan, which is the Italian kind of steakhouse, and then Murano, which was the French. And Murano was really good. All of them were really good. We did lunch at the Tuscan, and here's the appetizer we did, where you got a cheese board with some meats and some breads and stuff like that. And we really liked that. The only thing was, I don't know if we ate a late breakfast, because we did lunch in there. Maybe we ate a late lunch. We did dinner in there. I have to look back at my notes. Remember, either way, it was really good. We just weren't real hungry when we went in there, and when we left there, it was like, oh my God, overate. The food was really good. I think there's one thing that we got, because it was kind of they brought out shared stuff, and this was when we did Tuscan, it was a VIP gift to my wife and I, and so what we did is our friends didn't get the gift, so what we did is we split the cost of the meal with them, which I think is the right thing to do, and so it was like a buy one get one free, and we shared the cost of that. Had a great time, still very good. I think the service was really good. The Mass Grill, I'm gonna bounce around different places on the ship and different food. The Mass Grill was up by the pool. I think it was up the other level, so you can see down to the pool. They also had the Mass Bar up there where you can go up and get drinks. And the Mass Grill, they had your typical burgers, hot dogs, things like that. I think we did I got a hot dog there one day, or maybe it was a burger. We tried it one day. You can only eat so much, you know what I mean? And usually in the afternoon, if we're having drinks, I'm not into eating at that point, especially if it's after lunch or getting ready to do dinner. So the Mass Grill, it was good. Again, if I'm comparing it to anything, Guy Burgers, much better. Guy Burgers, you just can't beat them. They're just fantastic burgers. And I think, again, a lot of these ships, like the MSC, cruise lines, could take a lesson from that. I know not Celebrity, but Royal Caribbean. Celebrity is a Royal Caribbean brand. They have Johnny Rockets and things, and I think that's an upcharge, the Johnny Rockets on Royal Caribbean. But so anyways, again, the Spa Cafe was in the atrium, and that was really good. They had, again, all healthy stuff, but they had some really good tasting healthy stuff, and absolutely fantastic. Loved it. Sushi on 5. And, you know, here I'm going to run a few pictures over me as I talk. But Sushi on 5 had a beautiful view. My wife and I did that for lunch one day. We got dressed nice. You know, my wife, as you can see here, is in a dress. And it was, we had lobster ramen. Here's a picture of that. Fantastic. The flavors. Things like this give me ideas because I cook a lot at home, and gave me more ideas for doing some homemade ramens, and not the one you get in the packet. That's I think they're 20 cents each or something like that. They're good. Trust me. We eat them. We have them here. In a pinch for lunch, we'll break one of those out, heat up some water, and it's just quick and easy, and the taste is fantastic. And I'll chop up maybe some pork we had the night before, or chicken, and throw it into my my packaged ramen. But I'll make ramen where I slow cook some pork, some pork belly, and like right now, actually in the oven, I have some pork belly. Don't do it very often because it's fatty. Salt and pepper it, throw it in there for about 3 hours on about 220, 225, 230, somewhere around there. And it just comes out so crispy and greasy and delectable. But so I'll throw those a lot of times, make chunks of those and throw them into a ramen with some shrimp and things like, oh, so good. So eating that, I think that was the first time I've had a ramen, lobster ramen, but a ramen not made in that, not coming in that packet. So we did that. I think we did an appetizer of shrimp. I can't remember. Again, it's been a year and a half. I'm going to keep saying that over and over again till you get it. The setting was beautiful. All these pictures here, especially the setting, I took those pictures. They came out great. Almost looks like an advertisement. So we did that. Our friends, they're not big on Asian food. We don't ever do. Now I know they do like Chinese food sometimes, but we never go to a Chinese place. We always, usually if we go out, it's Mexican or steakhouse or something like that. So my wife and I did this on our own, and it was a lot of fun. But so from a food standpoint, I'm going to give you another video here of that Le Petit Chef, and maybe throw a couple more pictures in there of different dining, and you'll love it. And if you have any questions about the food on this ship, if you have any questions about the dinner show, especially Le Petit Chef, please ask in the comments below, or if you have a comment, if you've done this, please let us know if you enjoyed it, if you didn't enjoy it. Let us know what you think of this part 2 of the Celebrity Equinox review. And so here's a piece of that, another clip of the La Cuisine. You guys have a great day. Thanks for stopping in and watching part 2, and we'll give you part 3 here in a bit. And part 3 will be about the ship. So we're going to talk more about the ship, talk about the shows. I'm going to try and find my little newsletters that we get in the cabin every day so I can remember what shows we went to. 11 days. You think I would remember them all? It's a blur now, a year and a half later, because we've been on 2 cruises since. And the shows are really good. The ship, again, fantastic. I'll talk more about the ship. I'll throw some pictures in about the ship. So enjoy this piece of this little video clip. And thanks for coming again. Appreciate you guys showing up, and you guys have a great day.
You stay here. Don't look.
Taken.
Yep. Travels fast. cheese ravioli. Buon appetito.
Truffle fried cheese ravioli, buon appetito.
Yum, that looks so good.